1. Introduction to Myanmar. Civil conflict far away in Southeast Asia is a country called Myanmar, but used to be known as Burma. Ever since it became independent from Britain in 1948, Myanmar has faced a long and difficult civil war. Different groups have been fighting against the government because they want their voices heard and their rights protected. Myanmar is a colorful tapestry, home to over 135 ethnic groups. The largest group is called the Bamar, and they have a big role in the country's government and culture. Other groups like the Shan, Karen, and Kachin feel left out, like they're not as important. This started during colonial times when Britain ruled Myanmar, causing misunderstandings and unfair rules that stuck even after independence. 3. Early days of the fight, when Myanmar became free in 1948, some groups like the Karen National Union started fighting for their rights. They wanted their cultures and decisions respected. An agreement was made for fairness, but it was not really followed, leading to lots of distrust and armed battles. 4. Military takes control in 1962. A general named Nguyen decided the army should take charge of the country. This was a big change, and the military used force to control the ethnic groups that didn't agree with them, making the civil war worse. 5. Groups fighting for their people over the years. Lots of different groups have tried to stand up for their communities. For example, the Kachin Independence Army and United Wa State Army control certain areas and make their own rules. They often make tricky alliances, sometimes with the government, sometimes against it. 6. Troubles for the Rohingya. The Rohingya are a Muslim group living in Myanmar. Sadly, they've faced terrible treatment, and many have had to leave their homes to escape violence. The world took notice, and it's been called ethnic cleansing. 7. Trying to make peace. The Myanmar government has tried to end fighting by talking to these groups, especially with agreements like the nationwide ceasefire agreement in 2015. But trust is hard to build, and not everyone signed it. This means the fighting still continues. 8. Army's powerful voice. The army made rules in 2008 to give itself lots of power in government decisions, which frustrates those hoping for change. 9. Hopes and challenges from 2011 to 2020. Myanmar tried to become more democratic with leaders like Aung San Suu Kyi's party, but the army never gave up control, leading to more conflicts. 10. Another big change in 2021, the military took over again, causing protests and a large pushback from many civilians forming defense forces to fight back. 11. Helping those suffering the conflict has led to many people losing their homes and livelihoods. They need shelter, food, and education, but often struggle to find them. 12. Rest of the world watching groups like the United Nations have tried to help and influence Myanmar's military to make positive changes. Some world powers add to the difficulty with different motives and regional interests.